Hello everyone, welcome to Lockdown CISO. And today we talk about the three communiques and America's three Taiwan Acts. The three communiques are Sino-U.S. Shanghai Communique in 1972, Foreign Relations Communique in 1979, and August 17th Communique in 1982. The three acts are Taiwan Relations Act, passed by U.S. Congress in 1979, the Taiwan Travel Act in 2016, and the Taiwan Policy Act in 2022. The government of the United States of America consists of the three branches of legislative, executive, and judicial, with trinity of divided power and check or balance. Its foreign policy makers mainly are President, Secretary of State Department, and National Security Advisor. So the three communiques were made between Chinese government and the U.S. President. As a legislature, the two chambers of U.S. Congress are responsible for appropriation, war declaration, and treaty ratification, with Foreign Relations Committee in Senate and Foreign Affairs Committee in the House, supervising and approving U.S. diplomacy and resolutions. The Congress has the final power and for passing the bills. Very few of the congresspersons are diplomacy experts, and most of them are just politicians and good at playing politics. The quota of the representative number depends on the population of each state, and almost from 1 million citizens can produce a House representative for 2 years. And each state has 2 senators for 6 years. And for all the congresspersons are selected by states responsible for the interests of their state constituents and for any benefit of their home states, such as federal appropriation, relief, and job allocations. So it's hard to say the congresspersons serve the interests of the federal government. Yet, as a branch of American government, U.S. Congress plays a key role. Shanghai Communique are released in February 1972 when President Nixon visited China for normalization of the two countries. For the past 2 decades, Beijing and Washington had been in confrontation and hostility with different political systems and different opinions to the world affairs. So as the communique stated, the two countries had exchanged their points of view to the issues of the interests extensively, earnestly, and frankly. To be extensive, it means a bunch of issues involved, such as Vietnam War, Indo-China Peninsula, India-Pakistan conflict, Japan, Korea, and Soviet hegemony, of course, the key issue of Taiwan. To be earnest, it means two countries are serious about negotiations. To be frank, China and America freely express and exchange their differences and disagreements. Shanghai Communique specified in its statement, the United States of America, it recognizes that all the Chinese on either side of the Taiwan Strait maintain that there is only one China, and Taiwan is a part of China, and America does not challenge that position. The statement clarifies the one China policy, whether the Republic of China or People's Republic of China. For at that time, America and Taiwan still remain official relations. And it will always quoted the Republic of China is in Taiwan. In January 1979, a diplomatic relations communique stated that concisely and directly, as of January 1st, 1979, the government of China and the United States of America established diplomatic relations and exchanged ambassadors and established embassies since March 1st. America acknowledges that the People's Republic of China is the sole legal government of China and there is only one China, and Taiwan is a part of China. August 17 Communique was released in 1982 with total 9 articles, mainly for dealing with the American arms sales to Taiwan. In Article 6 and 7, American government stated it does not seek to carry out a long-term policy on arms sales to Taiwan and not exceed in qualitative and quantitative terms the level of recent years since diplomatic relations, and it will gradually reduce its arms sales leading over a period of time to final settlement. The government of China and America will adopt measures and create conditions conducive to the settlement. The phrase in this statement was somewhat ambiguous over a period of time for final solutions. Then exactly for how long the period, 40 years passed, the American never stopped its arms sales to Taiwan, and it was over almost dozens of billions of dollars. Then we talk about the 3 Taiwan Acts. In January 1979, when Sino-U.S. foreign relations are established, U.S. Congress enacted the Taiwan Relations Act, which consists of 18 articles. It concludes that U.S. President has terminated the diplomatic relations with Taiwan Republic of China, yet America will remain non-governmental relations with Taiwan in commerce and culture, continue its arms sales with requirements of peaceful means on Taiwan issue. In Article 4, it states that the absence of diplomatic relations or recognition between America and Taiwan does not affect the implication of U.S. law with respect to Taiwan. Whenever the law of America mentions the foreign countries, foreign governments, or similar entities, it will naturally include Taiwan, which means Taiwan will still be treated as an independent country. Article 6 is about the non-governmental American institute in Taiwan. Taiwan Relations Act is a domestic bill. Yet mutual relations are usually regulated by international law or bilateral treaty, and with a non-interfering policy to a nation's internal affairs. In 2016, U.S. Congress passed the Taiwan Travel Act, which consists of only 3 sections, mainly encourages all levels exchange between America and Taiwan. It states that 37 years passed since Taiwan's Relations Act in 1979 and Taiwan's transition to democracy beginning at the end of 1980s, last century. For long, the high-level exchanges between America and Taiwan have suffered a lack of communication due to U.S. government self-imposed restraints. So this Travel Act permits all levels of U.S. high officials, including U.S. cabinet members, visit Taiwan and meet with their counterparts. At the same time, Taiwan's high official can also visit the U.S. State Department, Defense Department, and other cabinet agencies in Washington, which promoted exchange relations between America and Taiwan from non-governmental to governmental. The Taiwan Policy Act in 2022 further enhanced military cooperation between America and Taiwan, regarding Taiwan as one of the non-NATO allies, which boosted the secessionists in Taiwan. This act covers extensive topics in 9 chapters, totally about 20,000 words in a 40-page document. It warns that Chinese leaders repeated claims to smash any Taiwan's independence plot, a Chinese army is building up for attack preparations, and American assistance to Taiwan defense. Accordingly, the government of Taiwan will be treated as an island country in East Asia, rather than only on a local authority. Taiwan's display of its symbol and sovereignty may not be constrained from the U.S. State Department. The Act adopts the clarification of UN General Assembly Resolution 2758 in 1971 for seat of China in UN and position of Taiwan. It believes China as an authoritarian country and only one-party system. So sanctions will be lifted to Chinese leaders, including its president, premier, and foreign secretary, and also to China's national banks and financial institutions. So one thing in particular is that due to the concerns of Beijing irritation or possible Taiwan's recklessness, at the very end of the act, it stresses nothing in this act may be construed as restoring diplomatic relations with the Republic of China or alteration in American position with respect to the international status of Taiwan. Anyway, Taiwan Policy Act is a new challenge of U.S. Congress to China, offensive and disturbing, yet still within constraints. Some people in Taiwan perceive this bill as the U.S. support to Taiwan independence, and even in the name of Taiwan state, which is somewhat unrealistic and overestimated. Finally, as to the initiator of the bill, Taiwan Policy Act, Robert Menendez, a Democratic senator from New Jersey, the chairman of Senate Foreign Relations Committee, at the age of 69, an immigrant from Cuba. In September 2023, he and his wife were prosecuted by federal attorney general for abusing power and taking bribery of cash and gold for hundreds of thousands of dollars, with evidence identified. Menendez defended against the prosecution as political witch hunting. Yet the Republicans blamed his scandal as a shame to the U.S. Congress. America has been undertaking ambiguity strategy and a double-edged policy. Due to reality and interest, it cannot lose the huge market in China, yet it always flip-flopped on Taiwan issues with President's agreement on 3 Communiques with China for better relations. On the other hand, initiated by U.S. Congress for 3 acts to bolster Taiwan independence, and offering something in one hand and taking them back with the other, playing a Taiwan card as a means of meddling. China has learned how to deal with it accordingly. With central government's reunification policy and anti-secession law by People's Congress, focusing on peaceful settlement, yet never give up the use of force. The Taiwan issue is the key issue of Sino-U.S. relations. It is about China's core interests and national revival. It is also the common concern of the 23 million people of Taiwan and 1.4 billion people in mainland China. Here comes the end of today's program, and thank you for your watching, and see you next time. Thank you, bye.